Hello friends and welcome to my channel Iballdesigningdeveloper. So have you ever wondered how to make your Java programs interactive? Imagine building a calculator, a quiz app or even a mini game. All of them need one key feature which is called user input. In Java, taking input from users is super simple and powerful thanks to a class called scanner. Just a few lines of code can take data from the keyboard and use it in your logic. Whether it's numbers, names or full sentences, Java lets you grab that input and process it in real time. In this quick lesson, I will show you exactly how to use the scanner class to take input from the user, and trust me, once you learn it, your Java programs will never be the same again. So let's dive in and make your code interactive. So I hope you will be enjoying this amazing video in which I will be telling you that what is user input in Java. So if you understand this video, if you enjoyed this amazing tutorial, so remember to hit a like, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my videos which I will be uploading in future. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's dive into it. Alright, so now we are on the computer screen, and like I've told you that in this video I will be telling you that what is user input in Java and how we can use this scanner keyword which we normally use when we were starting with user input here. So if we talk about Java user input, so the scanner class is used to get user input and it is found in the java.util package. So I have already told you about packages and APIs in my previous video. So if you haven't checked that video out, you can check that video out, because in that video I have explained you that how you can just import different packages in Java, how you can just download different classes from the packages you use in Java. So in this video as well, we will be using this scanner class which we have used in that video, and just I will be totally explaining you that why we use this scanner keyword, which is used to just import user data, or you can say just user input data, and we use this scanner class from this java.util package here. So to use the scanner class, we need to create an object of the class, and we have to use any of the available methods found in the scanner class documentation. And in our example, we will use the next line method which is used to read string. So here we will be creating an object to use this scanner class here, and we will be using the methods available in scanner class documentation. And the example which we are using here, in this example we are using one method which is called next line, and using this method we will be reading the string which we are using in this example. This is the example we are using, but before just understanding this example, I will be opening my NetBeans IDE here, because you all know that when we were just working with Java in our previous video, we were just using this NetBeans IDE, because I think this IDE is really best for beginners if they are starting with language like Java, because it has all the features, all the things which a beginner needed when they are starting with language called Java. And you can also use some other IDEs, because right now we have understood that how we can use different things in this NetBeans IDE. So if you want to use some other IDEs, you can use, like for online IDEs you can use Replit and Jupyter, and if you want to use some other offline IDEs, so you can use VS Code, then you can use Eclipse, and you can also use PyCharm, which is not for Java, but you can create Java files in that as well. Moving on to this main.java file which we have already created, I will be removing this start page here, and in this Java file we will be understanding the example which we have seen of the scanner class, or you can say a scanner class keyword which we are using. Moving on to my Word document here, this is the example. First of all, we are importing this package, because obviously if we need to use this scanner class, we need to import the package here, and after importing the package we need to again write the class name which we are using. So our class name is scanner, so we will be writing .scanner with our package here. So that's the way I have written. Now I will be copying this example. After copying this, moving on to my NetBeans IDE, I will be pasting all the things here in place of this, because I will be just running this file here, and all the other things which we have added is being commented out here. So that's the reason we don't need to remove, but if you want to remove it, so you will be not having any confusion here. So I will be removing that as well. Now this thing means this package will be importing the class of scanner here which we have written, and after importing the class of scanner, it will be creating an scanner object, because we have used this scanner keyword here. That's the reason it will be creating an scanner object. After that, the scanner object will be reading the user input, and after reading the user input, it will be giving you the output of user input which you are reading through this scanner class. Now we have to run this file to check if it is reading this user input. So what output we are getting by just reading this user input here. So for running this file, obviously we need need to press right click on our main.java file, and you can just simply press run file, or you can also press shift and F6 to run the file here. So I will be pressing run file, and after pressing run file, if I show you here, so you can just see it is saying me to enter your username. Now you can enter your username you want. So as you can see here, I have not entered my username. I have just directly pressed enter, and after pressing enter, it is showing me your username is, and it is empty because obviously I have not written any username here. That's the reason. So now I will be running it again, and this time I will be adding username here. Remember, you can give a space as well if you want, or if you don't want to give a space, you can press backspace and you can directly add the username there as well. So here I have written username as my name here, inshalbaig, and now when I will be pressing enter, so you can just see it is showing me by giving space your username is inshalbaig like this. And that's the way you can use this scanner class to get output of the thing which you are reading through this user input. So now what it is doing, this scanner class is reading the input which we are adding here, and after reading that user input, it is giving me the output of that user input. Like I have written inshalbaig, so it has read that user input using this scanner keyword, and after reading that, it is showing me the output when I am pressing enter. So that's the way how you can use this scanner keyword using this package of Java util, and you can get the output, and that's the way to use user input in Java. There are some other methods which you can use by if you want to just use this user input here. And what's the other method? These are some other input types which we will be understanding. But before understanding different input types, we need to just see what is this note saying me. So if you don't know what a package is, read a Java packages tutorial. So it is just simply saying me that if you don't know what are packages, how to import them, so you can just check out my previous video in this tutorial series which I have uploaded, from which you will be having good understanding that how we can just start with this Java tutorial series, and how we can just start with what is package in Java. So you can check that video out if you haven't checked it. So now understanding this input types, in the example above, we use the next line method, and that next line method which is used to read strings, and to read other types, look at the table below. So you can use this next line method in the example above which we have used, and you can also use this example, and this example is used to read, or you can say this method is used to read strings here when we are using this. And you can also use some other types if you want to use. So these things, or you can say these input also help us to read strings. So these are other input types which you can use, but most commonly used method which is used to read string is next line method, and that's the reason at the top we are using this method. But you can use other method as well. First is next boolean. Next boolean reads a boolean value from the user. Next byte reads a byte value from the user. Next double reads a double value from the user. Next float reads a float value from the user, and so on. These are some other input values as well. So moving down, in the example below, we use different methods to read data of various types. So in this example, we are just using different methods here, as we have understand in this input types, and these different methods are used to read data of various types. So we are importing java util.scanner because again we will be using this keyword to read our user input here, and after reading it we need to get the output by using different methods here. Moving on, I will be copying this, but before pasting it in NetBeans IDE, we need to understand this note which is saying me if you enter wrong input example text in a numerical input, you will get an exception error message like input mismatch exception. You can read more about exceptions and how to handle errors in the exception chapter. So in the previous video in this tutorial series, I have told you about exceptions. So if you don't know what are exceptions in Java, how to use them, and how you get these exception errors, so you can check that video out. But if you just write wrong input in this example, as we are writing right input, but if you just write any wrong input like text in a numerical input, so you will be getting an exception error in your output, and we don't want that. We should get any error. So that's the reason you need to enter the input which you are using correctly, like I will be adding here using this example. So now moving on, I will be just moving on to my NetBeans IDE, and I will be pasting it in the place of this thing, because now we have understand how we can import Java package with this scanner keyword. Again we will be importing it, but now we are using different methods here, and then we will be getting the output. So moving on to my main.java file, again I will be running this file, and this time you can just see it is showing me another thing. It is showing me like enter your name, age and salary, as we have added 3 things here. So now this time I will be entering my name, and then after that I will be writing comma, and then I will be adding age, and after that you can just add salary. You can add, normally you can add any salary number you want, like in the example I have written this 25,000, and I will be pressing enter. After pressing enter, you can just see we are not getting any output. And why we are not getting any output? Because we are adding comma here, and we don't need to add this comma here. So now I will be running the file, and if I just add nothing by pressing enter, so you can just see we will be getting nothing in the output. We are not getting anything because here we are just importing this thing, and when we are importing this thing and it is just running here, you can just see it is showing me running, and still it is running. So we need to wait. If it will be running, so you will be getting this thing as project 1 running. If it will be running, so you need to wait a while, and after running you will be getting the output that if it is having any error, or if it is not having any error, so you will be just not getting anything in the output. Directly it will be printing these all things if the Java util is importing this scanner keyword from the class. And that's the way how you can just use user inputs in Java. And you can use some other methods as well to import user input here, to read user input data which you are adding in your Java file using this scanner keyword. But this is the most commonly used way which I have told you, that how you can use user input, how you can read user data in this Java file. So that's the way to use it. I hope you understand this video in which I have told you that how you can just use user input in Java. So if you have understand this video and if you enjoyed this amazing tutorial, so remember to hit a like, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell as well, so you can get the notifications of all my videos which I will be uploading in future. So just I will be meeting you in next tutorial or in next project using Java. So for today, goodbye.